On New Year's Day 2014, the YWCA of Greater Lawrence opened an emergency shelter for women and their children fleeing domestic violence. It's in an undisclosed location to keep residents safe, and it's been full to capacity from day one. At the YWCA, we are working toward the day when such shelters will no longer be needed. To do that, we start at the beginning.
Carmela, good morning. How do you feel today?
I feel fantastic.
I'm so glad you feel fantastic. Good morning, Malia. How do you feel today?
I feel unhappy
You feel unhappy? Why do you feel unhappy? Because that means you feel sad.
because my mom waked me up.
Oh, trust me, that makes me a little bit unhappy too when I hear my alarm go off.
We do a lot of mentoring with the children.
Which picture do you feel like today? We don't know the word. Show me the picture and we'll give you a word.
If they're having a problem with aggression, we show them how to say things with their words and not use their bodies, not hit.
Good morning, Jeremiah. How do you feel today?
I feel frustrated.
You feel frustrated?
Yeah.
We teach them that, it's okay to say no to things that they don't like, and it's okay to touch and hug when they do have things that they're like. But we do a lot with feelings, and we hope that when they leave the program and that they're home, they can take these home with their older brothers and sisters. Because unfortunately, that's kind of where it starts, is in the home.
On average, it takes a woman 7 attempts before she finally breaks with her abuser. YWCA Fina House is a place where women ready to gain self-sufficiency can get the help they and their children need.
When we lived in Puerto Rico, the environment was violent. We always live in different places because all the time I feel fear about her father. But here, she have the opportunity to stay free.
Children who have lived in homes where there's violence or where they've been physically or sexually or emotionally abused, if nobody helps them to work through that trauma, what we know for sure is that they're going to be re-victimized over and over in their life. So when they come to Fina House, we focus on not only the mothers, but their children too, to help them work through what they've experienced so that they won't be re-victimized when they're teenagers or when they're young adults or when they're older adults.
For me, when I started living in the YWCA, was a new life. The YWCA helped me to have a good place to live with my daughter. Every day they try to help me in my steps and my daughter's steps. And I think it's the best opportunity of my life that I can live here. So I feel free.
There are those years where you feel stuck, and sometimes you will make choices based on feeling stuck.
We know that 1 in 4 girls will be victims of domestic violence or teen dating violence in their lifetime.
The big myth is that this can't happen to me. I'm too smart, I'm too pretty, I'm too rich, I'm too educated, but this can happen to anyone. So, you have to be aware and be kind and be respectful and be helpful to the person next to you, because it also could be you. Domestic violence doesn't discriminate. This is everybody's issue.
Right now the new thing is pregnancy and boyfriends and things like that. To me, all that happens because the girls don't know who they are. They can't find themselves, so they think finding themselves is by love or by someone thinking they're beautiful or basically using them. Because as my experience when I was younger, something bad happened to me, and that's how I wanted to find myself. Is by boys loving me.
For the YWCA, working with teen girls at the Haverhill High School brings a strong awareness of the domestic violence that is going on, unfortunately, in our community.
My relationship, it's not, I know, sorry. It's not good right now.
That's okay.
And it's hard being in high school, going through that. I listen to myself and I say, you never know what's gonna be out there for you. And now that I found this group,
yes,
it really helped me a lot.
I think it's very important that we reach out to the teens. These girls are eventually going to be role models, mentors, and if they're educated on the signs of domestic violence, they will step in and they will be a strong voice for our community.
I'm sorry, I just want to say thank you for speaking up because I know it takes a lot to speak up. So I just want to say thank you, and we're all here for you.
Thank you. Sorry to make you cry. Tyree, good morning. How do you feel today?
I feel grateful.
You feel grateful? Good.
The YWCA is focused on working with the entire community to break the cycle of violence.
Our program is set up so that these children walk in the door knowing that they have to be respectful to others. We will respect them, and this provides them with that confidence to know when they're not being respected.
They come here and now it's time to rebuild their lives. So we focus on helping the children to heal, and then we focus on giving the mom all kinds of tools so that when she leaves here, she understands about how to raise her children in a peaceful way.
So I think it is a good idea we have mentoring, because there's a lot of young women out there that want to speak up, but they're scared to because they don't have someone to trust.
When it comes to domestic violence and sexual assault, it affects every single person in the community, from the bottom all the way up to the top. And unfortunately, the ones who end up suffering the most are the children, I feel, the families. Domestic violence is a community issue, and everybody really needs to work together to end it.
Sometimes my sister breaks my heart. One day she yelled at me because I dumped her candy on Valentine's Day. It made me feel sad. I just didn't know that I died for her breaking my heart. I did a heart, but it was broken.
How would you make someone's heart not feel broken?
You could give them a note that says you could go to my birthday, or a note that says I love you.
That's perfect.